Good evening and welcome back to the FlyQuest Red broadcast. My name is GetTheBagMark here with Floofies for a new season here for BO3s in Season of 55. And you know what I say to that, Floofies? Finally.
Yes, it is so exciting to finally be on
Yeah.
Best of Threes, especially in a world where there's so many different events to play in, and everything is Best of Threes. It was definitely uh, a weird, almost vestigial thing that the path to pro advanced was not on a Best of Three. So about time.
Yeah, man. I mean, even when I was losing games in ESEA League, like, I always wanted my, losses to be in BO3s, Floofies. I was just, like, making open playoffs, probably playing one game and losing or whatever it was, but, like, your only BO3 experience as, like, one of those, like, lower tier teams, right, in the ESEA ranks would be, this is going to lead to another sad transition, but wasn't Cash Cups, wasn't closed qualifiers, stuff like that, which obviously, half of those opportunities aren't really around anymore. We're starting on a negative foot, Floofy, so maybe we should reel it in for a minute. It's all good
Okay.
over here.
Positive
Kinda,
note, tomorrow's Friday.
that's true. That's true. That's true. It's probably going to get sad later, obviously. Things have kind of been sad around these parts, but it is what it is. We got another BO3 here against some folks that, like, look, you've been seeing against, or rather under a name called 05. I think we played them in the last 2 seasons here. Floofies, these fellas have been mainstays in advance. I think if we can take a look at those rosters and get a look at CaseStorm here, PLX, Merkin, and the boys, these guys have been rocking it in the free world for years. I'm not even kidding. I mean, literally back when I was playing, like, I started playing in Season 35. I went to my first LAN in, like, Season 36. These guys were an advanced team that came to the LAN. I think they were Carbon X at the time. That org doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, I was looking at these guys as well, and it's always cool to be able to go and look at Face It and get that extra little bit of history. You mentioned Season 36. Face It doesn't go back quite that far, but I did go to, I think it was Season 50 or maybe it was 49, where they had uh, their first season as a team of 5 under Ozempic 5, and that was actually open. And just going back in history,
Oh, yeah.
FlyQuest Red actually played them in Maine in Season 52.
Okay.
Fun fact is we got FlyQuest Red's best map then in Mirage. And so we got a chance to see, this matchup years ago and seasons ago. And here we are clashing, doing it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You just saw the standings there. We'll talk about the BO3 in a minute. We're right next to Money Crew. That's that OB Elite Brett team there, Floofies, which is interesting. Maybe No Cries will play with them. We don't know. We'll find out. This will be not FlyQuest pick this time around. This will be CaseStorm pick in a actually kind of classic nuke from PLX and Co. out here. The main core of this thing being PLX, Ellis, K2, and Merkin. These guys have been around for a while. K2 used to play at RIT University in the Collegian Circle, if I am not incorrect. I could be. I cast millions of Collegian players. I wish there were that many Collegian players to be casted. Here's Goose getting the opening frag onto Merkin. FlyQuest pick right after this. We'll talk about it in a moment, Floofies, because Marie, she's being pushed down, and a bunny hopping player right in her face. Can't deal with it.
Yeah, you were mentioning Marie, aka Horse Girl XX, aka
Yes.
on her Steam profile, Bed Wars Warrior 64 X Roblox XXXX. Marie. So this is a good second minute here on this pistol round. 3 versus 2 for FlyQuest Red. Goosebreeder in a great spot, listening to the players heading on up toward heaven. So having some good information about what's about to happen on the A-bomb site, but she's got Bibian with her. And Sheikh Zula playing that crucial 5th will lead to a good win on the pistol round for FlyQuest Red.
Woo woo. You like that. We like that. I don't know if you follow Mama Toft on Twitter, Floofies, but she posted the family dog in a FlyQuest Red jersey. I think that signals to the FlyQuest crew that we need dog jerseys, but Abby was so fitted out for the FlyQuest Red crew. That was amazing to see.
I think we need animal equality. We need some cat jerseys too.
That would definitely be correct.
Oh, no, that sounds really cute. I didn't see that though.
That
Oh,
made my
this,
day. I always find time to get that on. I bought my Dog and Packers jersey the first day that we had for Floofies. I mean, that's what you gotta do. I know as a Chicagoan, you may not approve of that. BB, headshot, opening kill.
oh, that's okay. I know how my sports teams in Chicago are going to do. I'm going to get really excited before the start of the season, and then the first couple of games are going to happen, and then I'm going to ignore the rest of the season.
That'll happen. That'll
Anyway,
happen.
no bomb plant for CaseStorm on the previous round is going to be lead FlyQuest Red to a serious advantage here for this anti-eco. No real big buys on the CaseStorm side. They're forcing up with the tiniest of forces with the upgraded pistols, but not working all around. K2, the only survivor of the early carnage here. Glock in the 1 versus 5 spots the player up in heaven, but doesn't quite go for the shot. A little bit too far for the Glock to really reach. And here's the invasion of 3 players into garage with BB on to finally claim that kill.
Yeah, I had a brain fart. K2 and Ellis both play for Northwood University Collegiate. We haven't casted them this season yet, Floofies, so give me a break. I guess that shows how much I know. Northwood, a pretty prominent collegiate program, have been for the last 3 years. Always been like the number 2 to the Davenport, or to the Davenports, to the Fisher colleges of the world, right? I mean, there is a lot of big names out there, and they have had players graduate and whatnot. They've had to recycle, but they've kept their rank pretty high. Soul Goat & Co. responsible for that.
Yeah, I got to see Soul Goat & Co. In a game for, I think it was Dust 2 Eagle Masters series. I don't think it
There
went
you go. Probably playing with the
terribly
Tommy
well.
still, I would assume.
Yeah, I don't think it went too terribly well for them, but I mean,
Hope
it's
they
always
never
good
leave each other.
to see some of these players just playing and playing and playing, right? You never quit. You know, Akimbo
Exactly.
has oh gosh, I brain farted. Who is on Akimbo now?
Oh, that is the... Is that the Roka team? I believe that's the
Roka,
Roka
yes,
team.
Roka and Glorins. Like
They
again,
recently
you
made
never
some
quit.
moves, I think.
They got
Wrong.
Frizzy.
Somebody talked to Dust too. Yeah, and they got Little Beer. Little Beer's back in ECL. We love to see it. Always cheering for that. Rampant
Yeah.
time. K2
Rampant.
around the corner. You're just talking about him, Floofies. He's the tip of the spear. Gonna go down to Marie. Gets a double from the corner, and we're managing a triple on the MP9. She may get the quad here, but I think enough said about this Rampant. They're about to run out of time entirely.
That was so good by FlyQuest Red. I don't know if that was a read that CaseStorm were going to go for a ramp hit. They had the SMG just holding by boxes, and then Emmy taking the initial contact and falling back, baiting CaseStorm into a full exec into ramp, thinking, okay, the one player that was there is gone now. But no, MP9 up close, shreds through 3, and makes that round easy peasy. FlyQuest Red only losing 1 as well, so that's an upgraded SMG to a rifle against these pistols that CaseStorm will bring into round number 4. So upgraded pistols. Looks like it is going to be a yard hit.
We got Mr. Shake and Bake Zool in the server. What's up,
We sure
Coach?
do. Again, the Counter-Strike never leaves you.
Missing Vanessa. We miss you, Vanessa. She actually is not allowed to have any days off, so I don't know where she is. You need to be here every day. Or to the FlyQuest facility. BB.
Beyond about to have a
Oh!
target-rich environment, waits a little bit too late and gets run over. So the pistols might be exactly the ticket for CaseStorm as they make their way out onto the lower bomb site. Marie watching for ramp, but that bomb is down. Now going to be up to the rest of the squad to try and converge from multiple directions. Ooh, K2's Deeg finds another good trade out of Marie. I see the kill feed. I see the name of the kill feed, and it confuses me. K2, speaking of confusing, leaves me flummoxed, and good 2 kills for CaseStorm to take their first round.
Said it yourself, Floofies. The pistols were that perfect ticket. And to the lower, they made it work out. I don't know where they got all that util from. They had that smoking Molotov onto U-Haul. Marie couldn't get the shots down. But there they go. It's a way to get your first T-sided round. PLX with that op right after.
Well, this is a good spot for CaseStorm to try and break the economy of FlyQuest Red. Winning over with the pistols means they get to save over a lot of those weapons. They didn't lose too many players in that previous round, so it should be a pretty good opportunity for them. So FlyQuest Red really need to clutch up here if they don't want to let this T side pull ahead. Movement down an event as well, leaving some pressure. It relieves some pressure off the A-bomb site. Meanwhile, Goosebreeder playing from Garage, going to tag down Modder, but PLX with the trade. Is that how you say that? Modder?
I've been
Mahauger?
avoiding saying it so I could figure it out in my head.
I mean, if I had to guess, that's like a silent H. So it's like Mauger. Like Mauser, but
I gotta have a weird name, bro.
I mean, we've also got multiple names on this team that don't have vowels. A2 and PLX. Well, that's a fun angle. I didn't even think about the fact that you could stand on top of the garbage can hanging out in lockers. That's an interesting one. Doesn't seem to be too potent here for FlyQuest Red, though Sheikh Zula will emerge from lockers and avenge his teammate. Now waiting for the peek on into lobby. That AWP deletes PLX. And it's just get down to K2, that last player just outside of Hut. Spots the player up in heaven. Sheikh Zula gonna fall. But now the position known, and Horsker and Marie able to reel this one back in. Look, I look at the kill feed when I cast, okay?
It's starting just to become interchangeable. It's fine. I think we know. It's like indistinguishable, Marie lore. We all know that that's where she got her athletic beginnings in the horse races. It's obviously very popular in North America. She's fitting right in.
So speaking of horses, apparently in Chicago, they were looking to try and remove the budget for the Chicago Horse-Mounted Police.
Oh, boo.
No. I think it's a good thing. Like in a city where we're behind on our budget as we are as Chicago, those horses can go.
Movies for mayor.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I can't lead this city.
And I will be the vice mayor. Oh yeah, get ready, Chicago.
I mean, hey, if you want to come to Chicago, we need more CS people in Chicago.
Portillo's.
Oh gosh, that's like the most. It's not even a basic opinion. That's just a boring opinion. Portillo's. We need to get you some real food next time you're in Chicago. Oh my goodness. Be beyond while we're talking about real.
Oh no!
Jump someone hot. That's still on
House
fire.
Comes burning down. All good. That trade comes through. Just isn't with the bullets. I mean, he does get Ellis through the smoke. I'm not sure how rigorous that is outside, but CaseStorm push back from A. That might be looking to contact back to ramp here, but they got a whole minute and 10 to work with here.
That is the nice thing about Nuke. It is such a small map that 2 minutes feels like a nice long time. The rotations can be so fast that you have time to just sit in lobby and wait and listen and see what happens. And you're really not punished that much for it. Seemed like CaseStorm do want to activate onto the A-bomb site. They've got players outside looking to make their way in through Mini, and they've got their players on Squeaky as well. But Sheikh Zula, after spotting all of those nades flying out of Squeaky, ready for the push onto Modder. For more, though, he's got an idea, but Merkin, a little bit faster on the uptake. Still 2 versus 3 for CaseStorm, but getting picked apart, and it's just down to PLX. Molly into heaven, but
yeah, avoid that peak. I think bomb plant might have been in order at the bare minimum, but with Shake staying back there, nothing too possible for it. Floofy this nuke, so to speak, went south versus the Guangdong Tigers last week. That 0-2 performance, all good. 0-1. in the series. That's where, in the season, rather, that's where we are today. That's why I took a whole look at this video, and we can kind of break it down step by step. Obviously, we didn't really get the chance to talk about it too much, but first the Gondong Tigers, it was that Dust 2 picked by that team, which I think sort of was the mentality to pick up into Nuke by FlyQuest, not normally their first pick, and where the Inferno definitely is today, so to speak, and where you're sort of getting one of the better maps in the pool. That's what's one of the many strengths about FlyQuest and why they're able to dominate Impact and do really well into Challenger League. They've had these runs that they have had is because they do have a pretty patented down pool there, Floofies.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about the map pool, the decider, the fact that Mirage wasn't actually picked by either of these teams, but was kind of left for the end, is a very interesting piece of kind of gamesmanship by both of these teams. We're just going to talk about this. I mean, never mind. Pistols, Tech-9s charging out onto the B's site and just overrunning FlyQuest Red. 3 kills for 1 in response. At this point, maybe Jan and Emmy might as well just save. But, yeah, I feel like this best of 3 is almost destined for Mirage. And I've gotten to see a lot of FlyQuest Red on that map, whether it's in Impact or whether it's in ESEA or Dust 2 or whatever the tournament happens to be. And they've always done quite well on it. And so I was really surprised to see that they went for the Inferno instead. And I was even more surprised that CaseStorm didn't go for the ban on it. I know CaseStorm are fans of Mirage, but I don't know. I guess I kind of would have expected them to be like, okay, we see that you're also really strong on it.
Yeah, I feel like FlyQuest kind of label it as their strongest map. You know, when push comes to shove, right? I mean, FlyQuest just yesterday qualified for Stockholm of ESL Impact for the finals, which will, you know, definitely be emotional. I'm glad we could, you know, get there to contend for that last title. Obviously, it has been, you know, into, like, the Navi Javelin series through the years, like, into the Imperial series through the years. It's always been the Mirage that's been picked, so that's kind of why I label it as that. But when you're here down in the BO3s, it's always going to be the case. I think, you know, in the past, when this veto has been pulled up, it's been a Mirage between these two teams, so keeping it for the third there here is good. And, you know, where FlyQuest in these last couple of seasons, last couple of months, have been putting in a lot of work on Inferno, it's slowly become their primary pick.
Yeah, it's interesting to see a few teams actually switching up their map picks. Shimmer will be the other one to call out about Stockholm, just because they've been going from Dust 2 to Nuke. So I think that could be something that it made FlyQuest Red not ban Nuke out, is they've probably had to get a bit more experience on this map. Although this round, unfortunately, they're getting picked apart.
And it does happen while we're kind of podcasting. They do walk these kills outside, manage to walk it into secret. They get this bomb plan. It's simple stuff. That's exactly why, you know. And honestly, the kind of the way I think about it, and it's actually pretty cool because you don't really get this in any other format unless you're, you know, really kind of playing within the top 5 of, you know, Counter-Strike, right? You're like your team spirit winning Cologne, but you're still making move because your firepower still isn't as great as Vitality's, you know. Like, in that aspect, you really kind of have to chase the other teams down. But, like, you know, I made even like an inference earlier to sports. Like, I've given you grift about the Bears. Like, the Bears beat the Packers. They literally build their team around, like, the ways they can cover their players and literal strategies like that. You do have Merkin chasing down these players into T-spawn. You might see the second frag. Goose does survive. But essentially, you kind of form your pool, you form your strategies, your players, whatever it is, around winning your division first, so that you can make the playoffs, so that you can make Stockholm and then take the next step.
Yeah, I think it's something to.
It's been so competitive in NA, you definitely need that.
Yeah, NA has actually become kind of a rock paper scissors map based on who's tired that day, or, you know, who just wasn't quite ready for whatever reason. Just going back to Spirit. It's one of those, you know, you win more from losing than you do from winning. But if you discover a weakness, if you discover a map that you struggled on, even in your win, that can be something to just cover up. It's like, all right, I see that we won, but they almost managed to get in on the east wall. Well, let's put in some more concrete on that east wall. There's no reason to let it get hit again.
Concrete on it? I like that.
I don't know. I'm not an architect. I'm a software developer.
Nor am I. I'm also not that. It's all good.
I'm a caster, Jim, not a doctor.
That'll work. That'll work.
Now,
Rotating
you're talking...
down. A couple of USPs, Floofies. I'm not sure this thing has wheels.
Yeah, it's pistols. I mean, the couple of rounds that CaseStorm have managed to bring back have been pistol rounds, right? Round number 4 was upgraded pistols. 2 rounds ago, CaseStorm won it again with Tech 9s. So this is what honestly feels like the first time that CaseStorm are going to be winning with a full rifle round instead of any sort of eco weapons. Luckily, though, for FlyQuest Red, they're able to pick away and remove Ellis from the equation. So recovering a couple of rifles is going to feel pretty darn good as we go into the next round. And that is something else we can bring up
Did
as well.
Emmy have this M4 the whole time?
No.
Am I seeing things?
That was recovered. So I think Goosebreeder had it in the previous round, and
Okay,
she
okay.
must have
But it
called
did
that
come
out.
from FlyQuest. That's what I was confused about. I'm like, this didn't just disappear out of the one kill. The 2 rifles they have. I was gonna say, I'm like, you have these couple of rifles coming out. You called it a success in that way. Only 1 casualty. Whatever. It's fine. We roll along. Gun round time. What I'm here for,
Yep.
Floofies.
Ooh, we're gonna have a fast ramp push, but Emmy's bullet collides with Red. That means it's gonna allow CaseStorm out, but the second shot, she reels it back, and Sheikh Zula covering in as well. Oh my gosh, melts in the Molotov. Now it's gonna be Marie down on ramp. The next one up to Bet. Able to spray down 2, looking for the 3rd, but Ella's gonna be too quick for her. And this round basically over in a matter of seconds. 30 seconds in, we're in a 2 versus 1. Ellis now with a choice. I think he's been discovered over on ramp, so he could try to force the issue, or he could elect to head back up to main and over to A. FlyQuest to position themselves with 1 player per site, so there's not going to be any trades.
That coverage instead. Waiting for a clue, waiting for the bomb plan, if anything. You know, one of these doors and just swing away. If anything. Gonna go audible. Ellis puts his smoke down on that double door. And at 40 seconds, will start to attempt to plant. BB is gonna make sure that everything is covered. That bomb does go down. BB gonna stay patient and wait for Goose to arrive. Here Goose is. Flash out a U-Haul. The smoke will be used, and here goes Ellis into the double door. There goes BB onto the bomb. It's on the other side. Left no business actually trying to spam off the defuse. Ellis does put it down to a 1v1. Won't be walking away with his life or the round.
Yeah. These kills on the CT side, hunting on the CT side. I mean, I'm sure it's been talked about plenty, but I feel like anytime you see hunting like that, it's worth talking about. Hunting down extra kills on that CT side, especially after winning the round, is just so much more money. And having lost the last few rounds, FlyQuest Red are going to be happy for every dollar they can get. You can see with only 1 player surviving, they're still down to the last couple dollars to get rifle rebuys. Storm trying to get aggressive outside once again. Got the smoke wall down. Going to be pushing across. Making it slow, though. And we can see on the minimap those smokes fading away. So Goosebreeder in a position where maybe get activated outside before needing the player in secret.
What is that swipe by Marie? That's a laser beam coming out of her A1S. Boof, they're gone. She was gonna walk through that smoke. Everybody is just gonna have a chance to spam. I think Shake will get eyes on the Alex as he hops back to red. Marie might be gone, but the idea, the entire essence of her play. Still here in the round. Goose is such a professional. She will never go for the knife. Shot in the back of the head there. K2 1v3.
ESEA advanced match or major final. Goose, no knives. All business. I'd say this is a pretty solid CT side for FlyQuest Red, all things considered. 7-4, maybe a 7-5, maybe an 8-4. Either way, I think they're going to be feeling pretty good at the end of this one. Nice thing for CaseStorm, though, is they have managed to keep their money in a good enough state where even behind by a couple of rounds, they've managed to keep that T-side economy up. And so rifles have been out a fair number of rounds. Again, I kind of want to harp on it that 2 of these rounds that CaseStorm have won have been on upgraded pistols on the T-side. Not going to like try to extrapolate something from that because we've only kind of got this game to go off of, but you know, they're 2-1 on the season, although one of those 2 wins looks like a forfeit win versus In Control. So they've been having an all right season and kind of progress through things. We'll get to see a little bit more of them. This A-bomb site under fire. BB collapsed. Ooh, and that's Heaven going to be under fire as well. Modder popping on out. Headshot on the Jake Zula. CaseStorm have full control.
Yeah, and now FlyQuest has no choice but to attempt to retake this. It's the last round of the half, but this is where it's the most important for CaseStorm. I mean, they need this 5th round more than FlyQuest need their 8th, and that's just how it goes. They walk out without a casualty here. PLX calls up a good one here at the end of the half to at least pitch up 5 on the C side, and a nice gun round to at least make us happy on the desk here, Floofies. Sitting at a desk. Both of us are sitting at desks. We're sitting at a desk. Collectively.
Each have our own desks.
That's true.
Will has a desk.
That's true. I forgot about Will.
How can you forget about Will?
Something. I hope it's a desk.
Can you imagine if they had a Counter-Strike? So, did you see, it was earlier this year, the Counter-Strike tournament that took place in a subway?
Yep. There
was one on a battleship.
I can't remember what it was called. That was done by the same trio. I can't remember if it was 3G down there in Brazil. I'll answer that question in a moment because I got to give them the respect they deserve. FlyQuest rush ramp, and I think they're going to take it down below. But that's a really nice shot put up by the ramp player, and they're just going to chase him down. BB just going to strike that fight up, and they do already have contention in the double doors. Taking that swing, Ellis will put down Emmy.
Yeah, that drops the bomb as well, so now BB forced to reposition, forced to look to make her way back onto the site. Meanwhile, Marie into vents might have, two guns now looking down on stairs, and suddenly PLX finding himself all alone. Been such a wild pistol round. 55 seconds left. We are going to go from B to A, get that plant down, and now PLX with no kit has to do it alone.
PLX up the ladder. Definitely setting this clutch right, because he just set the first half right. The in-game leader called up that A play to strike up a 5th round. Now just got to do it himself. Got to show off the brawn a bit. But can't even track BB, who's just kind of playing the mind game there, juking him out in the triple kill by Marie to finish out the round. She's currently fragging at a pace that can't be met. 15, that's the most in the server.
But going back to what I was talking about, could you imagine if you could have, like, bikes with desks and that everybody was playing Counter-Strike while biking?
Would like that.
He would.
What the hell? What the helly? What's going on here? All right,
Map is
something was
Nuke.
breaking. Yeah, something was breaking. Map is Nuke. The next one will be Inferno and then Mirage. If we need it. Ancient, the perm ban of FlyQuest, that ain't changing. So don't get your hopes up. You know what I casted the other day, though? I casted Marsborn beating Wildcard on their permaban of Mirage. Now, that's a bit different, right? Mirage is kind of like a fake permaban to have, because you know how to play Mirage. You know how to play Mirage. You liar. You liar. You know how to play it.
I mean, again, we
Sorry, I was
touched on it
slashing out
before,
there.
but it's been a weird era in North America. We've had,
You can say that again.
Zomblers beating Wildcard. And then Wildcard coming
That
back
was
and just
freaky.
shutting
That was a
down.
freaky CCT, man. Oh, goodness.
Well, and then there was like, everybody's expecting Sportsbet Expert to do really well, and they got 2-0'd. So I'm just like,
Yeah,
there's been
I don't
so
know,
many
man.
weird.
That team is just like thrown together with talent, you know? Like it's giving less chemistry than notoriety, right? Like
Fair.
I think that's what is currently dragging them down, but like I really don't feel like they've had too big of a challenge. Like they've just been playing in some of those Elite Cups, and before that Open, I think just like kind of really wrecking teams. So we'll see how they continue to develop there. I really don't even know who's calling, right? It might be Trojan, it might be Rec, considering the experience he has. I don't know. That's what I mean. Like it seems like kind of a confusing one there, but I think that's a team that will probably do well eventually.
That is something
If you have
that is
OG
fun.
Wizard, oh, you're fine. Go. Oh, LeBron at the end.
Oh,
Couldn't do it.
that was a Dozier nade. I feel like I just saw a ghost.
Pull it up.
Well, FlyQuest Red showing some good tenacity here on their T side already. Both pistols, both conversions. Now we go for the gun round. I feel like if we get a FlyQuest win here, then they're kind of just going to sail through the rest. It's going to be a fast one out on the A-bomb site. Goosebreeder out in front. It's 2 for FlyQuest Red, and only Mater to trade one back.
Shake.
Now, goodness. I'm still not down. Shake's just going to go down the vent. My gosh, he's done it silently, too. CaseStorm are going to have no idea what hit him.
Here goes Marie right next door. Will be the late ramp rotation back out from Emmy. This is almost perfect from FlyQuest. Emmy gonna know that there's another rotator here at the J Hall. She just acknowledged him with those shots. So the Molotov will be set. CaseStorm, that's their line. 30 now ticking. They have got to force the problem here because this first gun round, like you lined it, is pretty important. And they seem to be backing away.
Yeah, a save here. I mean, it's going to lead to some rifles making their way into the next round, more than likely for CaseStorm, although Marie about to make her way into Ellis, so that rifle not going anywhere. 1 versus 3 for Merkin. If FlyQuest Red find... Okay, I feel like I say that same thing. If FlyQuest Red find this... But, I mean, it's kind of true, right? The more rifles you take away.
I also love mocking myself. It is funny. Sometimes it'd be like that. You're saying the truth. I mean, earlier you saw Merkin sprinted down and tried his heart out for that exit. It was an Olympic effort. I'm afraid that's not what we're scoring today, Floofies. 10 for FlyQuest. I got no complaints about this T side, nor should you. Maybe
Yeah.
You do.
No,
You do, tell me.
I'm quite impressed with it so far.
All right, we agree.
Has anyone discovered how to Molotov hut from T-Roof so that you can't stand there?
It's impossible.
Like, I know the fast Molotov
Do you know how
through
many
the
Counter-Strike
skylights.
players are STEM majors, engineers? They haven't been able to figure that out. It's not happening. Goose
It's just...
finds PLX. Opening kill, dealing with these pistols. They haven't bought down quite so hard in every single player. PLX more than everybody else, which confuses me because he is the opper, but hey, man. You.
Sometimes your opponent's just having a really good day.
Yes.
I think FlyQuest are having quite a good Thursday.
Or sometimes FlyQuest are just really good.
I mean, I would be having a good Thursday too if I knew I was going to Stockholm later this year to compete. That
That is
sounds
true.
like the best news ever.
It is true. Just in a little month's
Ooh,
time, he'll be out
not
there.
too long.
Sweden.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the Deagles. They're dominating.
This is kind of what happened with K-Storm before. All right,
Oh,
they lost the
no.
first gun round, but the eco buys come out strong. FlyQuest
who wrote
Red
this
just
up?
can't. This is exactly the last half.
All good. Maybe we'll get a little more original if we're following that path. FlyQuest pick it up right after this. But I would hate that. Let's get a little bit of a CT side out of K-Storm right here. I know these gamers are definitely good for it. Definitely good for it.
Hope so. Hey, we're getting the
I'm
raid
out.
from Parks. Got to
Hey,
pause.
Zula,
We
you
can say
can
what up,
talk all the
Parks.
time. Oh, what about Parks? What about Scotty P?
He has raided the stream and Black Mold.
Oh,
has
I
triumphed
love him.
over
I
Little
love
Box.
Scotty
It sounds
P.
like.
I love Scotty Parks. Whoop whoop. Scotty P. Love that guy. He's my best friend.
So we got to make sure to call out the fact that one, Scott Parks, one of the big players
goat.
in the Impact scene, where we're
Yes.
kind of halfway with the FlyQuest Red team, and so tonight he solo casted that game,
Legend.
which is very sadly, I think, the last one for the season that he's going to be on.
I hope he waxed poetic at the end. I'm sure he had a lot
I hope
to
so
say.
too.
Parks says.
There's not.
That sounds
big
like I'm
goodbyes.
cheesing a little bit. It's because I am, but Parks, genuinely, I don't think I've met very many people that have the passion that he does for women's Counter-Strike specifically. I love you, Scott. I love you. I love you.
Yeah.
Here comes a bit of a ramp hit. We got that. Faked off of A. FlyQuest doesn't seem like they're convinced. You got Merkin in this corner, rather CaseStorm. You get this rotation right back down the ramp. PLX gonna get two this time. Met by the Molotov.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
Worth it.
the Molotov, if that hadn't been there, that round is just over. So, but, oh man, that is going to hurt. That's almost round over for FlyQuest Red. Emmy caught just wandering out onto the A-bomb site. So this round going to be down to Goose Breeder in the 1 versus 3. He spots the first player in CT. That's going to be K2. Right on up towards Heaven, where she's being waited on from below. And there's Modder rushed down. 1 versus 1. This could go either way. They wouldn't have said that after those op kills in ramp, but Goose Breeder proving me wrong. Bomb as well, so nice tap. Ellis, not really enough time to come peek, but he will ride back up through vent. But that bomb going to be down before he gets here, and enough time for Goose Breeder to get to a nice after plant as well. Her way out through hut. She might catch the backside of Ellis. Oh,
Yeah, he will.
Gonna happen.
Find the shadow. Ellis back turned. Free kill for Goose Breeder. The captain will get it done in the clutch. You love to see it, Floofies, at the back of the A site.
Well, that could catapult FlyQuest Red into this win. There's enough money left on CaseStorm because of the pistols and because of the kills on CT side and how strong that economy is now. They're going to be buying into this round as well, but this is going to be the last one. So if FlyQuest Red win this, they could just be waltzing their way to the finish line of their opponent's map pick. It's going to be, well, I was about to say it looks like it'll be fast, but those nades out through Squeaky are not followed up, so we'll slow down just a touch.
I mean, they're in the execute set. I think this is the real deal. FlyQuest, they're just slowed down by the Molotov. Here they go. Setting the real threat now. Do have to run in front of the smoke to kind of deal with the vision, and they're suspect about if there's anybody in that vicinity. Marie does lose her life in the process, and now you have a 4v4. Goose is so concerned about it, she's spamming it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's understandable for them to be concerned about the top hut player. That could be so dangerous. That could end the whole round, but there's nobody there. It's just a player up in heaven. CaseStorm haven't really budged. They're waiting for FlyQuest Red to give them an angle to get in, and that might prove to be the wrong decision. Water still up in heaven, Flash goes out, but Goose Breeder manages to turn away, does get flashed by something else. Meanwhile, Bibian just drops him down to the mortal plane. And in this 4 versus 2, it looks like Merkin and PLX will elect to go for the save, but there's still some chasing going on. PLX spotted, has to fall all the way back into CT. Meanwhile, Merkin might just lose his life to the bomb here on ramp if he's not careful. Oh.
All good.
I say it, and then I'm surprised that it happens.
But it's natural, and it's necessary. 12 rounds here for FlyQuest. They're going to run away with CaseStorm's map pick here. In pretty easy fashion. We'll roll up onto their Inferno. The second half of the vetoes there, Floofies, you did see FlyQuest remove Overpass after CaseStorm removed Train. That's where you don't want to see that come up again. You got K2 raking out the big guns for the last round, potentially here in the CT half.
I'm always a big fan of the XM.
Not if he's moving like this. Probably extend the game. I'm liking this. Goose should be gone with it. K2 in the wind, only one. But you do have Ellis at the same time, slowing down this A hit. And where will FlyQuest rewind?
Well, yeah, that looked like a very solid A hit to be completely dumpstered by that XM. Not expecting such a close weapon. Meanwhile, Merkin with the FAMAS working his way over towards ramp, and now we get to deal with PLX's op once again. This time, the shot doesn't connect. This 2 versus 3 still has some legs for FlyQuest Red going into this second minute of the round. Op forced to back away, and FlyQuest Red have themselves a fair amount of the lower site to work with. It's just Ellis sitting, floating between control and double doors. Like he's going to allow both of the FlyQuest Red players out onto the site, but if there's no tap, things could get dangerous. Oh, I mean, just by herself on the site, smoke thrown over to give her space to plant. So 25 seconds remain, and that bomb will be dropped. Now Ellis, waiting for the player out from smoke, is going to be successful. So it's just Segzula alone in the 1 versus 3, the coach for the team, here to try and end the game. CaseStorm converge, the first player out from ramp. That's the op. Headshot onto PLX, but the trade kill out from Motter. Gonna keep this game going for at least one more round.
Good try there for the coach, but CaseStorm will have it in point. 7 rounds, they are now toting on their CT side. FlyQuest may have to take an eco.
Yeah, the money doesn't do too well on T side anymore. I mean, it's still good. The weapons are still cheaper, but not getting just free money from thin air, just from kills.
Why not? Why not?
I'm gonna say it's because CTs get government money for all the Ts they kill. And I'm not gonna go any further with that thought because it's uncomfortable.
Wacky. Wacky. What a world. CaseStorm thankfully only with 7 rounds on the CT side, so all good there, I guess. FlyQuest with their pistols are running it down, Secret, and their hope here is a bomb plant and a couple of casualties. Casualties, excuse me, looking to come their way.
Casualty. Yeah, I mean, so salvaging a rifle or two. Now things get actually really dangerous for CaseStorm. 2 versus 4, but this M4 in the hands of Emmy could be quite deadly. And CaseStorm don't have a lot of money for rebuys. Even if they do win the round, the weapons could start to look a little bit suspect if they end up losing any more guns. So they've got to be careful. Oh, that M4, there it goes. Finds Motter over by Unbreakable. Down on low HP, and so is Segzula. So it should just be both of these final players getting picked off, and CaseStorm with 8. But again, a comfortable 4-round buffer for FlyQuest Red after this one.
CaseStorm and Co. push for overtime. That's where we're at. FlyQuest Red on a very good bend right now, where at least their economy will break for a minute. We get this gun round back in the function. We'll see if CaseStorm has caught too much speed to be slowed down now. FlyQuest got to look for a opening kill here to set things straight.
I would agree with that. I think they've been doing well when they can grab that player advantage. Oh my gosh. Bibian just into lower, or into mini. Sheikh Zula. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Shock and awe out on the A-bomb site. FlyQuest Red not giving CaseStorm any room to breathe. That bomb goes down. Merkin is able to drill one back, but still player advantage to the side of FlyQuest Red. Marie even still playing through lobby, giving FlyQuest Red this extra little piece, this extra thing the CaseStorm have to worry about. Backstab onto Merkin, and it's just PLX throwing away his primary, his usual op for the AK to try and win this 1 versus 2. That's the good spray down, but he's nearly out of ammo, and that's going to be Emmy ending the game. FlyQuest Red 13-8 on their opponent's map pick.
They recover from their first series of Season 55. They did take a loss over there on Nuke, so a 13-8 is going to be so sweet, Floofies. Up 1-0 in the series, headed on to their own map selection. What they prefer in front of them is probably, you ask me, 2 of their best maps in the pool, right? You get this Inferno, it goes south. You have the cushion of a Mirage for you behind you, even if that is a little bit stronger for this squad over on CaseStorm. It will be where FlyQuest could potentially recover from a reverse sweep. But up right now, I'm not sure if that thought is too likely in my head. The girls played really well on this first map, and you see where, I mean, it was the rest of the squad that kind of kicked into gear. It was Marie that did have that, like, pretty star-studded CT side, but everybody else kind of followed their entry fragger there with a really good couple of hits that they decided to lay down the law with and close out the game, 13-8.
Yeah, I felt like I was saying Marie's name a whole lot. And looking at the scoreboard at the end here, we can see Horse Girl XX sitting in the server with a cool 19 kills. You know, she had one more than Goose Breeder, which I don't know if the damage numbers were something to think about as we take a look at these, but it's just, I mean, FlyQuest Red firing on all cylinders is, I think, the phrase that gets said a whole lot. The CT side really not allowing too much to come to pass, and Goose Breeder's T side was looking real good too.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, she called up a really good T side there off of a 7-5. CaseStorm win the last round and a half and only put up 1 on their defense. And a notable missing presence as well, because I think this is probably one of Vanessa's better maps individually, one of her better spots playing ramp on the CT side. She is so talented at that. I mean, just for her individual plays, I mean, I think that's definitely a problem. You have Sheikh Zul in the server here. I don't think it looks to be too big of a deal here. Vanessa, I hope she's watching the stream and seeing how well that they're doing, because you know when Vanessa joins back the squad, how dominant it's going to be, especially where I think she's probably the best, you know, player and impact, definitely at that, you know, Mirage anchor position. I mean, she's really insane at that. I think at ramp, like, she is unstoppable, you know, and a lot of the times we got to, I'm getting choked up here, see that Nuke before here, Floofies. Like, I mean, she's been great. So definitely sad to be missing Vanessa tonight, but a 13-8 here. FlyQuest are rocking with the coach and are doing pretty well. Jake is gaming.
He sure is, but they're rocking and rolling, but we're going to roll right on into a break here. Just give ourselves a little bit of time, a little bit of a break before our next map. We've got FlyQuest Red's map pick of Inferno coming at you in just a couple minutes.